Things are heating up this fall at WHUT.
Confidence. Confidence.
Welcome back to another episode of Ryan with an E. I am your host, Ryan Jones. That's Ryane, and I'm so happy that you've tuned in to Kick It With Me. Today's conversation is going to be just for the girls. We're going to be getting into confidence, self-image, self-esteem in the age of likes and social media, where it's often too easy to compare yourself to others and this concept of perfection. As a young black woman who is active on social media, Instagram, Twitter, all of the sorts, I am fully aware of the toll that it can take on your perception of what you're supposed to look like compared to what other people look like, and how hard it is to maintain a level of high confidence. Founded and was the president of the first my heart and my passion is for black people. That's what I want to work. That's what I want to. Knowing that my HBCU has taught me so much. So I don't like the way I said that. I'm gonna start over. Black people. I'm gonna start over. I think I. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Let me tell you, speaking to a camera when you're all alone in a room is very difficult. So I applaud anybody who is doing this, and it's hard work. So I'm just happy that I've made progress for you guys and for myself. So before we jump into this conversation, I do want to get into my favorite segment, our Queen's Corner. And
Simmons has uncovered a history that connects the school to some of America's greatest thinkers.
A press conference was held today
History-making partnership.
announcing a partnership between Simmons College and Jefferson County Public Schools.
Teacher shortage. There is teacher shortage across America. The research is really clear.
And I can see how Simmons plays such a critical role.
Attention to the need for minority teachers.
Partnership intentionally designed to build more minority teachers.
Simmons is not just a school. We have a rich history. We have
And how important this partnership is going to be in helping to correct a historic wrong and towards
Underrepresented minority.
We have to do better. I believe this program is the beginning of something that could be really special.
To have Simmons as a partner in recruiting minority teachers says two things. One, there is nothing that happens in any community that's any more important to the future of that community than the productivity of its school system. Two, is addressing an enduring issue in the education workforce.
The reason why this partnership is so significant is, first of all, HBCUs specialize in preparing black teachers to teach in the classroom.
HBCUs have always been committed to that. And so when you see the disproportionate statistics, when you really think about the culture of HBCUs, you know, from Cheney to Morehouse to Spelman to Simmons, it's really no surprise that you see so many terminal degrees, you know, PhDs, MDs, JDs awarded to people who started out at HBCUs.
This is really a return to what we were doing in the first place.
Dramatic impact. So we ought to just kind of take a minute and reflect on the reality of Simmons and the position it occupies in addressing something that we haven't been able to solve yet.
A recent article in Newsweek cited that black colleges produce 70% of all black dentists and doctors, 50% of black engineers and public school teachers, and while HBCUs only account for 3% of the nation's colleges, they account for about 20% of the degrees awarded to African Americans. Did you know that 40% of the African American members of Congress, 50% of African American lawyers, and 80% of African American judges all graduated from an HBCU? Simmons College of Kentucky is just one of America's historically black colleges and universities that can help you pursue and realize your dreams. Simmons College of Kentucky, creating the next generation of thinkers.
To place everything in the context on what was going on with black people in the late 1800s, you see the end of the Civil War in 1865, the Reconstruction Amendment, 13th Amendment freeing the slaves, 14th Amendment granting citizenship and due process under the law, and finally in 1870 the 15th Amendment, which gave black men the right to vote.
4 months after Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, the former slaves in this state came together and formed the General Association.
They're tasked with creating a new black intelligentsia that are going to become the socio-political leaders of black America. That's really the context that Simmons fit into as we were going into the 20th century.
And then in 1879, Simmons College of Kentucky opened its doors.
When Reconstruction ends in 1876, 1877 with the Hayes-Tilden Compromise, you see incredible retrenchment in white America.
The pressure was on all black colleges to pattern themselves after Hampton Institute, which was designed to prepare black people for the low-tier jobs and not for the professional jobs. William J. Simmons militated against that and said, Howard is our model.
When you talk about excellence, black people have always understood they had to be better. HBCUs understood and understand that they have to be better. And so they're not just teaching reading, writing, arithmetic. They're teaching a commitment to something greater than the individual.
In fact, it was the only institution in America that had a law school, medical school, liberal arts college. The entire faculty was black. The entire governance was black. So it was the personification of black empowerment.
That excellence is always there. As the Greeks talked about, that arete, always reaching for something higher, not just for themselves, but those around them.
So it started for the purpose of training the black professional class and especially teachers.
Some of the most prestigious names in every facet of education were involved with Simmons College.
Education was important to African Americans at that time for the same reason that education is important to African Americans now. It is absolutely essential that black people understood the system in which they were functioning, no matter how unfair that system was or is.
And then a huge catastrophic economic development takes it down.
The stock market crashed in 1929. The banks foreclosed on them. They lost their property. And the University of Louisville purchased the property to establish a segregated division. And not only did they use their superior financial resources to purchase the campus that slaves had built, but spoke very disparagingly of Simmons University. Kent said that Simmons was a poor excuse for a university. But what Raymond Kent should have said was not that Simmons was a poor excuse for a university, but the United States was a poor excuse for a democracy.
You know, reimagining kind of what's possible is a type of social dreaming. Whenever we come together in our respective colleges of education, that we're kind of trying to work towards what we've yet seen, but we know that it could be possible.
It's difficult to recruit individuals to go into where they actually experience the most traumatic experiences. And so we really have to talk about how we can make education fun again.
It's really important that we don't perpetuate a narrative of a crisis around teachers of color. We have to understand historically they were pushed out of the profession.
It's about dismantling the inequities in our systems. There's a larger problem out there, and that's part of the challenge of this work.
And so I hope that as we strategize and brainstorm solutions to these challenges, the way in which we frame the narrative,
explicitly or through all the implicit things that schools and teachers do,
frames the way we think about solutions.
White arrogance in America is a heck of a thing. The lack of awareness of what's gone on with black people in this country. How HBCUs couldn't just be colleges, they had to serve as primary schools as well. But the products coming out of those schools were incredibly stellar. But black people are always a stellar people. All they needed was an equal opportunity.
What is tragic is everything that Simmons once did and everything that Simmons once had, from our curriculum, to our degrees, to our clubs, and even our sororities. That story got dropped off the consciousness of the city. No historical black college and university has ever made the comeback that we made, and no college in American history has ever lost its campus and returned back to the campus that it lost.
Perhaps through this engagement, we will talk about each of us challenging each of us to bring forward 20 young people, 30 young people, whatever you can take on to help illuminate a path to a future that they may have difficulty seeing.
You really touched on what I think is probably one of, if not the most important function of HBCUs. They set up a situation where students understand that black people have a history worth studying, lives worth living, and a future worth constructing.
We have to see every child in every classroom in our community as the potential leader of something great.
There is no substitute for that. Then the children can go back and rescue their elders. And that's as it should be. Many say, and the child shall lead, right?
Hello, welcome to the Mocha Media Multi-Viewer. A quick overview highlighting some of my work using After Effects and Photoshop. Just in case your to-do list is as long as mine, here's a 60-second time saver. Thanks in advance for your time and consideration.
So often when we think about a person who is confident, we think that they are confident in the way that they look. And confidence oftentimes is outside of your appearance. It's about understanding that you are so much more than how you look. You have to consider, are you confident in your personality? Are you comfortable within your own skin? Are you comfortable when you talk to other people? And as you grow and become and learn more about yourself, you are able to see if you are happy or unhappy with some of the qualities that you've discovered about yourself, and you can take the initiative to change those or keep the same qualities or accept your flaws. And so I think that as someone is growing within their confidence, you have to look at yourself holistically and see which attributes of me make me who I am, and which attributes do I want to express and share with other people, and what are the things that I need to work on. So I think confidence really works from the inside out, and that sounds so cliche, like a little billboard on the side of a building, but really it is, confidence works from the inside out. And when you're confident in your abilities and your morals and who you are at the core, it really shows in your appearance and how you walk and how you talk and how you carry yourself around others. And of course, after watching those moments, I wouldn't be able to have the wisdom that I have or all the knowledge if it were not for all the queens that we've had on the Queen's Corner, such as my grandmother and my mom and all the other beautiful women who have made an impact on my life. And I just want to give y'all a shout out for just giving me and just pouring into me just a little bit of wisdom so that I can share it to the young guests that I've had on my show and to the young girls watching it. And I love y'all so much.
You is kind, you is smart, you is important. That's so good.
And speaking of seeing my name on the big screen in years to come, I just want to think about what we're going to be seeing in the future for Ryan with Me. Whether that be talking about me eventually going to college, like I can't even imagine being on my own, living in DC. I'm going to be like a different world.
of me. 'Cause I finally heard them sing.
And just having a good time. So I can't wait to see what this next season or season 2 or the more seasons to come after that, what they have in store and what Ride with an E, where it will take me in the future.
Bring the beat back.
And I want to give out special thanks to everybody who has contributed to this show. The first shout out that I want to give is to Miss Pat. She definitely got me to do it, and
you know there's always something good going on in Miss Pat's neighborhood.
It wasn't like she drugged me in here. I was so excited to start filming this show, and I'm just so happy when I was able to create my own name. Next, I want to thank Miss Angela. She is one of the most hardworking people that I know here at SSC Live TV. Next, I want to give a big, big thanks, lots of kisses to my filming crew who put up with my craziness, all my breaks and stumbling on my words. And they also just always encourage me that I'm doing a great job and to just slow down when I'm talking, because I tend to do that too. But yes, thank you guys so much to my filming crew. Next, I want to shout out the big dog, the big homie, Mr. Rico, my editor. I'm not good at editing videos, and I'm not sure of a lot of people that are, but Mr. Rico, you do that thing. You do it every single week, and I just thank you so much. All the crazy text messages and memes you send me whenever you're going through my episodes. I just thank you so much for the work that you have put into Ride with an E, and I cannot wait to see what we can come up with in the future.
Please welcome the Vice President-elect of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
To our campaign staff and volunteers, this extraordinary team, thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process. To the American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voices heard. When our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, and the world watching, you ushered in a new day for America. And to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother. And so I am thinking about her and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women. Every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. Our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition. Lead with conviction. And see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. But know that we will applaud you every step of the way.
Even though we're rivals, I still love my sis.
The real HU, Hampton University.
Things are heating up this fall at WHUT.
Says who? Would you say that you feel grown?
Like, at the end of the day, I just feel like I would be growner.
They need to ask about me.
Like,
Will
like
did it.
I'm that student.
You
like,
own it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, like, yeah.
But you're not about to.
Period.
Things are heating up this fall at WHUT.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Jones, and I am the host of the program Ryan with an E, where we will have candid, honest, hilarious, and sometimes even serious conversation about the topics and happenings that are pertinent to young women and college students like myself. I will be opening up about my experiences as I navigate my way through adulthood, with the help of my homegirls, my role models, and of course, God. Thank you so much for tuning in to laugh, learn, and kick it with your girl, Ryan with an E.
Lift every voice and sing.
What is Black excellence? Is it something that can be confined within 28 days of the year? Is it something that starts and stops? Or is it more of an enduring quality? Can it be limited to just one type of person or to one particular race? Well, the answer to that question is no. However, it is within the context of Blackness that excellence takes on a higher meaning. Now I know, the philosophy of Cat Williams tells us that excellence is already excellent. How you gonna out-excellence excellence? It's just excellent.
I don't know how you gonna out-fantastic.
But when it comes to Black excellence, it is excellence that has risen after being cast down.
You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I rise.
As Grandma used to say, when it comes to Black excellence, you can get mad or you can get glad.
Black excellence is an all-time high.
But don't get mad because I'm glad.
Black excellence is still at an all-time high.
Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
They don't do it like we do it. And that's okay the way they do it, but you shouldn't be ashamed of the way you do it. So when they have their bands march mechanical, very mechanical, and it's dun 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 dun. But if you go to Grambling, it's like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.